For decades, NASA has maintained a carefully crafted narrative about the structure of our solar system, dismissing theories of a rogue celestial body with the potential to disrupt planetary orbits as mere speculation. But now, a former NASA engineer who previously worked on planetary observation missions has come forward with a revelation that could challenge everything we know about our solar system. This insider, who remains anonymous for security reasons, claims to have reviewed classified images taken by the South Pole Telescope, SPT, an observatory specifically designed to track celestial bodies in infrared wavelengths. According to the source, these images reveal an enormous planetary object, previously undetected by standard telescopes, approaching the outermost regions of our solar system. Supporting this claim, declassified data from NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, WISE, in 2010 hinted at the presence of an unknown mass beyond Neptune, only for NASA to abruptly terminate the mission shortly after. If you're ready to challenge the mainstream narrative, uncover hidden truths, and dive deep into the greatest space mystery of our time, make sure to subscribe now and turn on all notifications. And if you believe NASA can't keep this secret much longer, drop a 7 in the comments below. These images, never meant to be seen by the public, reportedly capture a planetary body so massive that its gravitational influence may already be disturbing the orbits of Neptune and Uranus, triggering anomalies that NASA has either ignored or deliberately downplayed. While official space agencies insist that lost data and inconclusive readings are the reasons behind missing satellite records from key observation points, the insider claims this is nothing more than a calculated cover-up, one designed to withhold critical information from the global population. If the documents are accurate, then this mysterious object, referred to in hushed tones as Planet X, or in ancient Sumerian texts as Nibiru, could be on a highly elliptical orbit, periodically returning to the inner solar system, potentially influencing catastrophic shifts on Earth, just as ancient civilizations have long prophesied. The timing of this revelation is no coincidence. Recent increases in seismic activity, unexplained climate anomalies, and peculiar disturbances in planetary motion all hint at the presence of a lurking cosmic intruder. Could it be that NASA, aware of an impending celestial event, has been quietly suppressing this knowledge to prevent mass panic? If this whistleblower's claims are to be believed, then humanity may be standing at the precipice of a revelation that alters our very perception of history, prophecy, and the fragile nature of our existence within the grand cosmic order. The implications stretch far beyond the boundaries of conventional science, touching on ancient warnings encoded in religious texts, mythological records, and even the cryptic statements of former government officials who have hinted at the existence of an undisclosed planetary force exerting its influence on Earth. The question now is no longer whether Planet X exists. After all, multiple anomalies in planetary motion and unexplained gravitational forces suggest an unseen influence in the outer solar system. Even mainstream astronomers like Dr. Konstantin Batygin and Dr. Michael Brown from Caltech have proposed the existence of a yet undiscovered Planet 9, a massive celestial body affecting Neptune's orbit. If these scientists are actively searching for an unknown planet, could it be that the object NASA classified decades ago is in fact the very entity that independent researchers have long suspected? And if so, why the secrecy? And most importantly, what happens when the world can no longer ignore the undeniable truth that something massive, something unknown, is approaching? In 1983, a discovery was made that should have changed the course of astronomical history forever. The Infrared Astronomical Satellite, IRAS, launched by NASA in collaboration with the Netherlands and the United Kingdom, was designed to scan the skies for distant celestial objects, particularly those invisible to the naked eye due to their faint luminosity or obscured by cosmic dust. But what IRAS detected went far beyond conventional expectations. It captured evidence of an enormous, unidentified celestial body positioned at the outermost edges of our solar system, exhibiting a trajectory that suggested it was inbound. Almost immediately after these observations were made, the Washington Post published a bombshell report citing NASA and IRAS scientists who acknowledged that something massive, possibly a gas giant or a brown dwarf, was lurking beyond Pluto. The implications were staggering. Could this be the fabled Planet X long theorized by astronomers? Or even more ominously, was this the return of Nibiru, the celestial wanderer of Sumerian legend, whose arrival was said to bring cataclysmic consequences? But before the public could delve further into these revelations, the data mysteriously disappeared, and the scientific community suddenly fell silent. Within days, NASA officials retracted previous statements, dismissing the object as a cold anomaly or an instrument error. The once explosive headlines vanished from mainstream media, and any mention of IRAS's startling findings was reduced to whispers in conspiracy circles. However, the inconsistencies didn't end there. Over the following decades, a pattern of deception emerged, one that suggested NASA was not merely neglecting certain astronomical anomalies, but actively concealing them. Telescopes like SOHO, Hubble, and WISE, some of the most sophisticated instruments ever deployed to observe our cosmic neighborhood, began to exhibit a troubling trend. Images released to the public were often altered, cropped, or blurred when they depicted certain regions of space, particularly those where independent astronomers had reported seeing unexplained objects. Entire sectors of observational data were mysteriously redacted or labeled as corrupted, making verification nearly impossible. Certain celestial bodies, once visible in early imagery, appeared to have been erased or obscured in later releases. What was being hidden? And more importantly, why? If the IRAS discovery had been a mere error, why take such extreme measures to ensure that the narrative remained buried? The most unsettling aspect of this cover-up is the blatant contradiction in NASA's own statements. In private discussions and declassified documents, officials had, at various points, acknowledged the existence of an anomalous planetary object, yet publicly, they denied its significance, insisting that no such discovery had ever been made. This kind of scientific doublethink raises serious concerns. Was NASA pressured by government agencies, elite powers, or even military-industrial interests to suppress the truth? After all, an object of this magnitude, if indeed inbound, could destabilize the global economy, trigger mass hysteria, and collapse entire geopolitical structures if its existence were openly confirmed. Further evidence of obfuscation lies in the classified nature of certain astronomical programs. The South Pole Telescope, SPT, built in one of the most remote and restricted areas on Earth, has been oddly focused on monitoring the same regions of space where Planet X was allegedly detected. Similarly, NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, WISE, was abruptly decommissioned after gathering data that some believe contained critical proof of a large trans-Neptunian object, one that could not be accounted for by conventional planetary models. Why would NASA systematically shut down its most powerful tools in the search for such celestial phenomena? Is it because the evidence they were gathering was too dangerous for the public to know? There is also the lingering question of whistleblower testimonies. Former government officials, intelligence operatives, and even ex-NASA employees who have risked their lives to expose what they claim is a deliberate suppression of knowledge about an approaching planetary body. Some of these individuals, such as Dr. Robert Harrington, the chief astronomer at the U.S. Naval Observatory, openly discussed the possibility of an undiscovered massive planet disrupting the solar system. He was preparing to publish critical findings that, according to some, aligned with ancient Sumerian accounts of Nibiru. But before he could make his research public, he died under suspicious circumstances. Was his death merely an unfortunate coincidence, or was it part of a larger campaign to silence those who knew too much? The deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes that NASA's denial of Planet X or Nibiru is not based on a lack of evidence, but rather on a carefully orchestrated effort to control public perception. Could it be that this celestial body, whether a rogue planet, a brown dwarf, or something else entirely, has been on a collision course with our solar system for centuries, its presence chronicled in ancient prophecies and hidden in classified space programs? If so, why is no one talking about the potential consequences? Are the unprecedented spikes in earthquakes, volcanic activity, and extreme weather events linked to a gravitational shift caused by this lurking behemoth? Could its approach explain the erratic behavior of planetary orbits, the mysterious shifts in magnetic fields, or the rapid climatic changes that defy all traditional explanations? These questions demand answers, but one thing is certain: if a cataclysmic event were imminent, those in power would be the last to tell us. The question now is not whether NASA is hiding the truth, but rather how much longer they can keep it from unraveling. As independent astronomers turn their lenses toward the skies, as amateur radio operators intercept strange cosmic signals, and as whistleblowers continue to emerge, the pressure mounts. The truth is out there, waiting to be exposed. The silence of official space agencies is deafening, yet the whispers of whistleblowers, independent astronomers, and ancient records grow louder by the day. Now, leaked images from a classified military telescope have surfaced, revealing something that could alter our very understanding of Earth's place in the cosmos. A massive celestial body slowly but unmistakably making its way toward the inner solar system. These images, captured in infrared wavelengths, show an object that is virtually invisible to standard optical telescopes, an anomaly that explains why mainstream observatories remain publicly silent on the matter. But in the infrared spectrum, where heat signatures betray hidden bodies, this planetary behemoth emerges with terrifying clarity, revealing what appears to be a highly elliptical orbit, one that takes it dangerously close to our planetary neighborhood. Its trajectory is eerily consistent with descriptions of Nibiru, the infamous wandering planet mentioned in Sumerian cuneiform tablets, a celestial force that, according to ancient accounts, returns in cycles to bring upheaval and devastation. If these leaked images are authentic, then the implications are nothing short of apocalyptic. Despite NASA's official silence, citizens across the world are reporting unexplainable celestial phenomena, and the number of these sightings is increasing at an alarming rate. Seasoned amateur astronomers with access to powerful backyard telescopes have detected an unidentifiable luminous anomaly near Neptune's orbit, a region where no known planet or large asteroid should be visible with such intensity. Some have noted its sudden, erratic movement, suggesting a gravitational influence at play, perhaps evidence that this object is already affecting the outer planet's orbits. As these independent reports multiply, video footage from individuals across different continents shows unprecedented anomalies in the sky. Glowing objects appearing at twilight, unexplained refractions of light near the sun, and in some cases, a faint second sun-like sphere barely visible to the naked eye. Could this be Nibiru's first visible approach? If so, why have official agencies remained silent, even as these reports accumulate? What are they hiding? What's even more unsettling is how ancient civilizations from opposite ends of the world seem to know about this event centuries, if not millennia, before the advent of modern science. Ancient prophecies have long warned of celestial disturbances, with some scholars pointing to planetary events as their possible origin. The Book of Revelation, Kaihuan 8:10-11, speaks of wormwood, a great star that falls from the heavens, turning waters bitter, a description eerily similar to the effects of meteor impacts or cosmic radiation altering Earth's environment. Furthermore, in Mesopotamian records, Nibiru is described as a wandering star that appears in cycles, bringing upheaval. Could these ancient texts have been attempting to document a recurring astronomical event, one that science is only now beginning to uncover? Could it be that this passage refers not to a metaphorical doomsday event, but to an actual planetary encounter, one that civilizations before us had experienced firsthand? The Sumerians, arguably one of the earliest advanced human societies, chronicled in their ancient texts the existence of a rogue planet known as Nibiru, a celestial entity whose cyclical return was said to bring massive floods, earthquakes, and the downfall of empires. Their cuneiform writings do not frame this planet in the realm of mythology, but as a cosmic reality, a real astronomical body that ancient priests and scholars had calculated and feared. Even in Mayan codices, there are references to a wandering celestial body that alters the balance of the heavens, influencing weather patterns, planetary orbits, and triggering global upheavals. The Egyptian civilization, too, left behind cryptic warnings of a star that brings the end of cycles, the destruction of dynasties, and the reshaping of the Earth itself. Babylonian astronomers, known for their precise and advanced astronomical calculations, seem to anticipate the arrival of celestial disasters at certain intervals. Were they tracking Nibiru's orbit all along? If these ancient texts are to be believed, then Nibiru's approach is not a mere possibility, but an inevitability, one that has occurred repeatedly throughout Earth's long and turbulent history. And what if the recent dramatic increase in natural disasters, mega-earthquakes, powerful volcanic eruptions, unseasonal storms, are actually early warnings of its arrival? The Earth's magnetic field has been weakening, shifting in ways that baffle scientists, while the poles continue to move unpredictably, an event that some researchers say could be triggered by an external gravitational force. If a planetary body of significant mass were creeping toward the inner solar system, its gravitational pull would undoubtedly wreak havoc on Earth's delicate balance, just as the Sumerians described. Could we already be witnessing the first effects of its inbound journey? And if so, why have global space agencies refused to acknowledge what independent astronomers and ancient records have long foretold? The answer, disturbingly, may be far more sinister than mere ignorance or oversight. If world governments and NASA have known about this celestial intruder for decades, perhaps even longer, why suppress the truth? One possible explanation is that the ramifications of such an admission would be catastrophic for civilization as we know it. Imagine the worldwide panic that would ensue if it were publicly confirmed that a planetary giant, one that has been linked to mass extinctions and civilizational collapses, was heading toward us. Global economies would spiral into immediate chaos, religious groups would see this as divine reckoning, and mass migrations from vulnerable regions would overwhelm governmental structures. The power elite, those who sit at the highest echelons of control, would do everything in their power to prevent such societal breakdown. This could explain why NASA has systematically redacted images, classified certain celestial observations, and even actively discredited astronomers who dared to speak out. But how long can this charade continue? There's another chilling possibility, one that aligns with whispered government contingency plans and underground bunker projects. What if the elite already know the full timeline of Nibiru's approach? What if they are prepared, while the rest of the world remains in the dark? In recent years, billionaires, powerful political figures, and even certain world governments have been investing in underground survival bunkers at an unprecedented rate. What do they know that we don't? Could it be that the time of Nibiru's return is near, and that those with the means are ensuring their survival, while leaving the masses to fend for themselves? The biblical warnings, the suppressed astronomical data, and the ancient records all point to an impending event of cosmic proportions, one that humanity may already be in the early stages of witnessing. The pieces of this puzzle are beginning to fall into place. The leaked military telescope images, the inexplicable changes in planetary behavior, the government's secrecy and mass disinformation, the historical warnings that have echoed through time, now aligning with modern observations. If the scientific community remains shackled by bureaucratic control, then it is up to independent researchers, astronomers, and truth seekers to uncover what has been hidden from us for so long. The return of Nibiru, Planet X, or whatever name it has been given throughout history, may no longer be an abstract possibility. It may be the very event that reshapes human civilization in the coming years. The question is not whether we are being lied to, it is how much longer before the truth becomes undeniable. As more whistleblowers step forward, as amateur astronomers capture the unfiltered sky, and as ancient prophecies begin to align with modern reality, the time of revelation draws near. But when the world finally awakens to the truth, will it be too late? The question that lingers now is not whether Nibiru is real, but what its impending arrival means for Earth and humanity as a whole. If ancient records and leaked astronomical data are correct, then Nibiru's gravitational influence could have catastrophic effects, ones that we may already be witnessing. Over the past decade, the Earth has experienced a dramatic increase in seismic activity, volcanic eruptions, and extreme climate anomalies. Could these phenomena be the initial signs of a celestial body exerting its force from the outer reaches of our solar system? The data is alarming. Earth's seismic activity has surged to unprecedented levels, with a disturbing number of magnitude 6+ earthquakes occurring in clusters. a pattern eerily reminiscent of past geological upheavals recorded in ancient civilizations. Volcanic activity has intensified, with dormant supervolcanoes like Yellowstone exhibiting unusual behavior, while volcanoes across the Pacific Ring of Fire have erupted with increasing frequency, spewing ash into the atmosphere and altering global weather patterns. Unusual tidal disturbances, unexplained shifts in ocean currents, and the acceleration of polar ice melting suggest that an external force, one powerful enough to disrupt Earth's equilibrium, may already be in play. Could it be that Nibiru's approach is subtly destabilizing the planet before making its grand entrance? Perhaps the most chilling evidence lies in the state of Earth's magnetic field, which has been weakening at an alarming rate. Scientists report that it has deteriorated by nearly 10% in just the past century. More troubling is the erratic movement of the magnetic poles, a phenomenon that some experts attribute to a foreign gravitational influence disturbing Earth's core dynamics. If Nibiru, or another massive, dense celestial body, is approaching, its magnetosphere could be interfering with Earth's own magnetic stability, triggering disturbances that affect everything from climate systems to the planet's geological structure. These anomalies align disturbingly well with historical records of past planetary cataclysms, when civilizations such as the Sumerians, the Mayans, and even pre-dynastic Egyptians recorded periods of sudden, extreme global change linked to celestial events. Could it be that what we are experiencing today is merely history repeating itself, the early tremors of a planetary cycle long feared by those who came before us? If this is the case, then it is impossible to ignore the conspicuous silence of world governments and space agencies. While NASA continues to dismiss the existence of Nibiru or any trans-Neptunian intruder, it has quietly funneled billions into planetary defense programs. But defense against what? While NASA publicly insists that its planetary defense efforts are focused solely on asteroids, documents from the National Near-Earth Object Preparedness Strategy 2018 indicate plans to monitor unidentified orbital bodies. Meanwhile, military-linked observatories such as the South Pole Telescope, SPT, have been granted classified operational status for certain infrared data. Could it be that these advanced observation facilities are detecting something beyond known asteroids, something that aligns with the very anomalies that independent astronomers have been tracking? What, exactly, is it watching? Meanwhile, in the private sector, billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have accelerated their off-world colonization plans, with SpaceX and Blue Origin pushing aggressively toward Mars and lunar settlements. Could their urgency be rooted in privileged knowledge, a forewarning that Earth's days as a stable home for humanity are numbered? As the signs grow clearer, the question is no longer whether Nibiru is coming, but whether those in power are preparing for an exodus, while the rest of us are left behind. The signs are here, unfolding before our very eyes, and the evidence is becoming impossible to ignore. Mysterious lights have been reported streaking across the night sky, some vanishing into the darkness, while others linger ominously, as if heralding the arrival of something massive beyond our understanding. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are increasing in both frequency and intensity, defying conventional geological predictions, while the planet's magnetic field weakens at an accelerating rate, a pattern eerily consistent with historical records of planetary upheavals. Meanwhile, governments and elite organizations continue their silent, calculated preparations, constructing bunkers, advancing space colonization, and strategically relocating key operations, all while dismissing the very concerns that independent researchers and whistleblowers have fought to expose. Could it be that those in power are simply buying time, knowing that the truth will soon be undeniable? The question is no longer if something is coming, but when. And more importantly, who will be ready? What do you think? Could independent astronomers uncover the secrets that space agencies remain silent about? Have you noticed unusual celestial activity in your area? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And let's continue investigating these cosmic mysteries together. Subscribe for more explorations into ancient prophecies, astronomical anomalies, and the hidden connections shaping our universe.